The time is precisely 1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Chandima Veerakorn. The headlines. The All-Share Price Index retains its position as the best-performing primary stock market index in the world. The Foreign Minister says Sri Lanka is prepared to face UN Human Rights Commission's accusation with friendly countries. Diplomatic-level discussions are underway to solve issues related to East Container Terminal. The Tamil National Alliance supports to prepare a constitution that protects everyone's identity while not harming the country. In foreign news, Iraq's Yazidi community buries 104 victims of IS massacre. In sports news, it's rugby. France goes 7 tries in 6 Nations opener. Local stories in detail. The All-Share Price Index has retained its position as the best-performing primary stock market index in the world, with the index closing trading on 5th February 2021 at 8,275.37 points, marking a 22.16% growth year-to-date. According to CSC research, the ASPI as at 5th February 2021 has recorded greater percentage growth than any other primary index globally in 2021. The S&P SL20 index, which includes the 20 largest and most liquid stocks, closed the week on 3,304.30 points, marking a 25.25 growth so far in 2021 year-to-date. The world-beating performance of the All-Share Price Index is consistent with noteworthy levels of trading activity recorded in the Sri Lankan stock market in 2021. The total turnover of 227.8 billion rupees recorded within the first 22 market days of 2021 is already higher than the full-year figures recorded in 2012, 2013 and from 2016 to 2019. The highest annual turnover of 570.3 billion rupees was recorded in the year 2010. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that the government has already rejected accusations levelled by the UN Human Rights Commissioner. He said in Kandy yesterday that Sri Lanka has the ability to face those accusations together with the friendly countries. He pointed out that certain groups are engaged in levelling such unfounded allegations from time to time. They have forgotten the people rescued from the LTT group. He said that the groups which level such accusations attempted to appoint former army commander Sarath Fonseca as the president. The foreign minister said that although the UN Human Rights Commissioner has accused a group of military officials, that list does not have the name of Mr. Fonseca, which shows their intentions. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that steps have been taken to solve issues related to East Container Terminal with the relevant friendly countries. He said that diplomatic-level discussions have begun in that regard. Delivering an Anusasana on the occasion, Anunayaka of Untitled Chapter, Venerable Vedaruwe Upalithero, said that government should pay more attention when sending groups for foreign service. Leader of the Tamil National Alliance, parliamentarian R. Sampanthan, says that his alliance will give its full support to introduce a new constitution which will enable all communities in the country to live peacefully. He said that it is important to compile a constitution that respects everyone's identity and that does not harm the country. He said that a sustainable political solution will lead to a prosperous future. He said it will become a turning point in Sri Lanka's history. He expressed belief that the present government would act wisely on such matters. State Minister Lohan Ratwatte says that over 11,000 inmates who had been imprisoned for minor offences have been released so far. He added that more detainees will be released in connection with the Vesak full moon Poya Day. Speaking to the media in Kandy, he pointed out that the number of detainees imprisoned for minor crimes when he took over the ministry was over 30,000 and that it has now been reduced to 18,000. He said there is also a legal provision called the 4-year review and that law has been halted recently. Under the 4-year review, the death penalty can be reduced to life imprisonment and life imprisonment can be reduced to 20 years. Accordingly, prisoners who have spent 15 to 16 years and those over 65 years of age will be able to be released. State Minister Attotte said that he hopes the President will grant his 4-year review pardon before the Vesak Poya Day. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with the local stories, the National Centre to Prevent Spread of COVID-19 says that 14,749 PCR tests were conducted yesterday. 726 infected persons have been reported yesterday. 197 have been found from the Badula district. 116 have been reported from the Colombo district and 101 from the Gampaha district. 312 infected persons have been found from other districts. A total of 68,575 infected persons have been reported so far. 62,593 out of them have recovered from the virus. Accordingly, the centre said that 94% of the second COVID wave has recovered from the illness. Meanwhile, police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that random rapid antigen tests will be conducted today in the Colombo district where people would gather. He said that more than 3,000 have been arrested for not wearing face masks and for not keeping social distance from October up to now. To end the local news, the headlines again. The All-Share Price Index retains its position as the best-performing primary stock market index in the world. The Foreign Minister says Sri Lanka is prepared to face UN Human Rights Commission's accusation with friendly countries. Diplomatic-level discussions are underway to solve issues related to East Container Terminal. The Tamil National Alliance support to prepare a constitution that protects everyone's identity while not harming the country. That ends local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddha Lepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddha Lepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya.
On the main news story, the epidemiology unit said a total of 156,310 frontline workers have been vaccinated by last evening. A total of 9,983 frontline workers were inoculated yesterday. The vaccination program in Sri Lanka commenced on 29th January.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddha Lepa.
On to Watch Light. Sri Lankan ambassador to UAE, Dhammika Malraj De Silva, says the UAE is a land of endless opportunities for Sri Lankans amid COVID-19 pandemic. He cited that at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, many Sri Lankan expatriates who had lost their jobs had registered for repatriation. He pointed out that they were either retained or found new opportunities, and those who left have returned to find new jobs, which showed that the UAE labour market remained robust. That ends Watch Light.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. Iraq's Yazidi community buries 104 victims of IS massacre. Crowd gathers for second day of protest against Myanmar coup. Cuba opens up its economy to private businesses. The Yazidi community of northern Iraq has brought home 104 of its members who were killed by the Islamic State group during its reign of terror in 2014. Their remains had been identified and exhumed from mass graves and they were laid to rest in the village of Kocho near Mount Sinja in Nineveh province. Thousands of men were killed and women and children enslaved and raped when IS overran the Yazidis' homeland. The UN says IS carried out genocide against the community. More than 1,000 people have gathered in Myanmar's main city, Yangon, for a second day of protest, nearly a week after the military seized power. Police trucks and officers in riot gear were stationed on the streets near Yangon University. Smaller demonstrations were also reported on Sunday morning in Malamin and Mandalay. Elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi remains under house arrest, as does President Win Myint. Cuba has announced it will allow private businesses to operate in most industries in what is a major reform to its state-controlled economy. Labour Minister Marta Elena Freitas said the list of authorised industries had expanded from 127 to more than 2,000. She said only a minority of industries would be reserved for the state. The country's economy has been hit hard by the pandemic and US sanctions introduced by Trump administration. To end the world news, the headlines again. Iraq's Yazidi community buries 104 victims of IS massacre. Crowd gathers for second day of protest against Myanmar coup. Cuba opens up its economy to private businesses. That ends world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
On development news, Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that investment opportunities will be widened in the tourism sector to attract more local and foreign investors to Sri Lanka. He said the government will grant concessions and incentives for those who are willing to invest in the sector. The minister said that the development of the sector should not harm environmental, archaeological and cultural values of the country. That ends development news. On to sports news. It's rugby and cricket. On rugby, France swept Italy aside to start the 2021 Six Nations with an emphatic 50-10 bonus point win in Rome. The 2020 runners-up never looked back after Dylan Cretin scored in the 5th minute for the first 7 series. Teddy Thomas crossed twice while scrum half Antoine Dupont set up 3 tries as well as scoring himself. Italy's only try came from Luca Sperandio, but the inexperienced Azzurri could do nothing to prevent their 28th consecutive Six Nations defeat. In cricket, today is the third day of the first test of England tour of India in Chennai. Batting first, England scored 578 in their first innings. India was 69 for 2 wickets a short while ago. The second test between South Africa and Pakistan is underway in Rawalpindi for the 4th day today. Pakistan scored 272 and South Africa 201 in their first innings respectively. Pakistan was 217 for 8 wickets in their second innings a short while ago. The 5th day's play of the first test of the West Indies tour of Bangladesh is in progress at Chattogram. Bangladesh scored 430 in their first innings and West Indies 259. Bangladesh declared their second innings for 223 for 8 wickets. A short while ago, West Indies was 235 for 3 wickets. That ends sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
And on business news, Sunshine Holdings reported resilient growth in top and bottom line performances during the first 9 months of the current financial year, with strong contributions kicking in from healthcare, agribusiness and consumer sectors. During this period, the group posted a consolidated revenue of 17.4 billion rupees, up by 10% year-on-year. Group profit after tax saw an increase of 11% compared to last year, amounting to 1.9 billion rupees. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Board of Investment of Sri Lanka, Colombo Stock Exchange and Ceylon Chamber of Commerce are set to organise a first-of-its-kind virtual investment forum to collectively promote direct and equity investment opportunities in Sri Lanka on 6th, 7th and 8th April. The event is expected to attract investment interest from around the world, including high-net-worth individuals and institutional investors. The event will discuss the macroeconomic landscape in Sri Lanka and will highlight all major projects and ventures open for direct investment, while also featuring the investment case for CSE-listed companies. That ends Economic News.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally, on the weather report, the Met Department says few showers will occur in Uva, North Central and Eastern provinces and in Matale and Nura Elia districts. Showers and thundershowers will occur at a few places in Sabaragamu province and in Gaul, Matara and Kalutara districts. Fairly strong gusty winds up to 50 km per hour can be expected in northern, north central, northwestern and eastern provinces and in the eastern slopes of central hills. Misty conditions can be expected in central, Sabaragamu and Uva provinces during the morning. That ends the weather report. And to conclude this bulletin of news, the headlines again. The All-Share Price Index retains its position as the best-performing primary stock market index in the world. The Foreign Minister says Sri Lanka is prepared to face Human Rights Commission's accusation with friendly countries. Diplomatic-level discussions are underway to solve issues related to East Container Terminal. The Tamil National Alliance supports to prepare a constitution that protects everyone's identity while not harming the country. Iraq's Yazidi community buries 104 victims of IS massacre. In sports news, France scores 7 tries in 6 Nations opener. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Over to my friend and colleague Soundit Avam to bring you the lunchtime music and, of course, to follow with the Your Choice Request program. Over to you, Soundi.